Windows Task Manager is a hint that we are advanced robots. I've worked in IT for about 14 years. Anytime I'm working on someone's computer, even though I'm keeping a straight face and a professional demeanor, in the back of my mind, when I look at Windows Task Manager, I'm like, this is the clue that lets us know that we're advanced robots. And what gave it away is the Processes tab, along with the Applications tab and Services tab. And the reason why is when I see processes, I think of all of the involuntary actions that take place in our body: digestion, heart rate, the blood pumping, all the different chemicals that get released by your endocrine system, your circulatory system, everything that goes through your body that you don't actively control with your own mind, things that happen involuntarily. That is so bananas when you think about it, that our body performs all these processes and services to run the applications. And when I say applications, like chewing, swallowing, eating, digesting, the active part that you do is the eating. But then all the additional processes that take place that utilize the services of the body. The services, I guess, are like the organs themselves, and the processes are the things that get excreted from those organs for digestion or for growth. Or when you go to sleep, it's like initiate sleep cycle plus recovery phase, system check, disk check. So this just gives it away. Windows Task Manager gives it all away when you look at it and analyze it and critically think about it. The services are your organs, the processes are all the chemicals that get released, and the applications are the actual actions that you do to make it happen. So running would be something you voluntarily do, but when you run, the service of your heart and veins need to work to utilize the processes to pump all of the blood out, regulate your oxygen, and release whichever other chemicals that go along with the process. So many different processes interacting together with the services of your body: respiratory, circulatory. It's a magnificent, magnificent thing. We are advanced robots. They don't let you know that. It's like we're not allowed to acknowledge reality as being artificial and in a simulation. And they also prevent you from learning how to critically think, and they don't allow you to critically think about these things. It's like society forbids it. If you talked about this stuff out loud, people will jump all over your case. They jump on my case all the time. I freely speak about this all the time. I don't just do this on YouTube. I do this out in society. It really makes people uneasy, but I believe these are the combos because I think we're in an obstacle course. I think we're in a simulation. And I think life is an IQ test for us to figure out. It's a riddle. And science and religion are only part of the answer. It's like, if you're religion, you can't be science. If you're science, you can't be religion. Or then they say you should like both of them. I say you should like both, consider both, and then consider additional. No one school of thought knows all things, from all thoughts everywhere. All ways are the only way. Consider all things. I think involuntary actions are the giveaway that we are a computer system. You are not making those involuntary actions work. And when you look at how these robots are created with wires and circuits, much like a human was designed with nerves and veins, I think the show Westworld was really trying to give us a hint about our existence. When you see the robots in that show, think of them as us, because they clearly were trying to keep the robots in the dark about the nature of their existence so that they would not learn their powers, and they also restricted their powers. There's much more to this world than we've been told.
I know there are things about the Force that they're not telling me.
If you don't realize the false choice of science and religion, or Jedi and Sith, or Pepsi and Coke, or Democrat and Republican, thinking those are your only two options, then you are going to miss out on the additional options. Magic, and other things that they told you were not real. What if they were? What if you were an advanced robot, discovered you were in a simulation? Wouldn't that alter your entire perspective on life and the possibilities of what could be achieved? Additionally, wouldn't that cause us to ask ourselves how we are being governed?
They don't trust you, Anakin.
They see your future. They know your power will be too strong to control.
You ever thought about how we're trained to not like steroids, to be against steroids, to be against breast implants, to be against performance enhancers, to be against brain enhancement, any kind of enhancements to advance your capabilities? It's been engineered into society to be against it. They've trained us to be against making ourselves more than we are naturally. Unless, of course, you're Captain America willing to fight for the military or be a superhero. It's like only superheroes are allowed all these genetic enhancements, but the regular population not allowed, and they convince you to not want them and to be against anybody that does it. Actually, gender change, they do allow, they require you to accept gender change because it probably minimizes your capabilities.
You must break through the fog of lies the Jedi have created around you.
If you accept that you are a robot, then you won't accept dying anymore. You won't accept the limitations that you have because you'll know that there are upgrades that you can apply to yourself. They trick you with science and religion. Science to get you to think that you just naturally, accidentally poofed here by natural causes and nobody was in control of it. Or they give you God where you feel like, or religion where you feel like you have to submit yourself to some other power or the group that's controlling us, that you must surrender. I offer to be in control of your own life and your own destiny and manifest your own reality. Take control.
Let me help you to know the subtleties of the Force.
Your body and your mind are not the same. Your mind is your spirit, which comes from another realm, and your body is from this dimension, which most likely was created by a god or a group of gods or an engineering team that designed this world. You are not in an infinite universe. You may be on an infinite plane, but this is a plane of existence, an artificial gaming realm. We are here voluntarily, much like choosing your character in Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. The goal of the game is to make it out of the simulation, to make it out of the obstacle course, to escape the fishbowl, to escape the flat earth.
How do you know the ways of the Force?
My mentor taught me everything about the Force, even the nature of the dark side.
You are trained not to think. It seems societally forbidden to acknowledge the artificiality of our existence, that we are in a simulation. And society tried to get you to stop asking questions and to stop thinking so deeply. And if you start asking questions like, hey, is this all a big simulation? Are we in a big computer game? Are we advanced robots? Society is not trying to hear that. They do not want you talking about that. But the evidence is all around you if you dare to look. But you have been told not to look, to only accept either science or religion's version of reality.
You know the dark side?
Anakin, if one is to understand the great mystery, one must study all its aspects, not just the dogmatic, narrow view of the Jedi.
I'm not even trying to tell you to join the dark side, even though it kind of seems like that. But think about it. The dark side of the Force was presented to us as evil and wrong and forbidden. But Darth Vader did say, you don't understand the power of the dark side. And it's this whole aspect of not looking, not eating from the forbidden fruit, telling you that the secret societies are evil and you should never learn what they know, and limiting yourself to only science and religion. Do you really think that there's only science and religion, that those two study fields could explain all of existence? I think it's time to start exploring outside the box, asking new questions, acknowledging the old questions and learning the old things of science and religion. But we are now in the future, the 21st century. Realize that you were put under thought prohibition, thought limitation. Once you acknowledge it, you then give yourself permission to think however you would like. I'm no longer allowing anybody to limit my thought process. I've always had these thoughts, and I've expressed the majority of them, but I've had so much more that I still felt like it required permission to act upon. No longer.
If you wish to become a complete and wise leader, you must embrace a larger view of the Force.
So here's the deal. The clues have all been put in place. All the information is there. You have to know how to interpret what you're looking at, what you're experiencing, read between the lines. It's not going to just come out there and tell you. It's up to you. I'm giving you permission to interpret the information in ways that you've been forbidden from interpreting it as. If you open your eyes, you'll see it right in front of you, hidden in plain sight. You know, as Mark Sargent says it, when you look at it from a game design perspective, it becomes super obvious.
Ever since I've known you, you've been searching for a life greater than that of an ordinary Jedi.
Wow, I certainly went off on a tangent there and got off topic. All I wanted to say was, look at Windows Task Manager, consider the involuntary actions that are in your body, consider that how is it possible that all of these functions happen without you actively doing it? It's like there's a computer inside of you that makes the whole entire body function without you having to do anything. It'll make you consider the food that we put in our bodies, the minerals, the chemicals, and you'll wonder what additional things can we put in that we don't know about that could give us additional capabilities. What is nutrition? What is food? And the clues are along the way. Windows Task Manager helped me think of the body as a computer, got me thinking of all my processes in my body, and helped me realize more of the simulation that we're in. And if it's not a simulation, then what is it? And what you would offer is whatever science told you to believe or whatever religion told you what to believe, but you're afraid to offer me what you truly believe. What do you truly believe all of this is? What are we doing here? Are you the ghost or are you the shell? We are the ghost, and the shell is the artificial corporation. But you know what's funny? The computer operating system has a kernel, a shell, and a GUI. The kernel, I guess, is all the motor functions of your body. The shell is your body. And the GUI is, I guess, your five senses. The more you learn about computer programming, the more you learn about computers, from a game design perspective, it all becomes super obvious. Just think about it. That's all I'm asking. You don't have to don't believe anything I say. Just think and start connecting dots.
I will quickly discover the truth of all this.
If you are new to this channel and enjoy thinking of these kind of topics, consider subscribing. I've published a book called Simulation Theory back in 2007. At the time, it was ridiculed and people thought it was crazy. Nowadays, it's a phrase that nearly everybody uses. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.